Okay, I'm gonna give it a couple minutes here. Then I'll open my mouth. Yeah, unannounced, and here I am. Back up here, I just felt like I needed to have this little rant. I don't know if you'd want to call it a rant. Maybe it ain't a rant, okay? Maybe it's just a nutty idea that I wouldn't be surprised if it was true, okay? So I thought, why not come up and talk about this for a little bit? You know, yesterday I was talking with Harry about this. Got to be a pretty good conversation. I'm telling you, it really did. One of the things I enjoy about when I'm talking with Harry. It was one of them very interesting conversations. Of course, there's nothing to back any of this up, but the thought went across my head, and I thought again, So we know Hollywood actors have stage names, okay? And we know that governments are nothing more than corporations, and presidents and so on are nothing more than CEOs of corporations. And we know that 13 families, bankers mainly, running this world. Okay. And I got thinking about something, in 1949 or whatever, right after World War II, Hitler took a hike, disappeared, found later, years later, and died somewhere else. Okay. He was covered up and protected, right? So let's think about stage names, okay? And I was thinking about this seriously, okay? Now I know this is going to sound crazy as hell, right? But you got to listen to this, okay? So I'm going to blow your mind here a little bit because this is going to sound crazy as all hell, okay? But here it goes. So we had Bush in office, and during Bush's administration, we had 9/11, right? Think about the last name there, Bush. Now, think about wording that comes with Bush. Ambushed? Yeah, ambushed. Ambushed would fit. The people of America was ambushed by its very own government. And who was in office? The last name Bush. Do we know that George Bush's real name is George Bush? How do we know that his name is really George Bush? Do you have evidence that he was born George Bush? Are you just merely believing what you're told? Okay, now let's go forward. After Bush came Obama. Well, what did Bush do? He ambushed us with 9/11 and sent us into war. What did Obama promise everybody he'd do if he got in office? That he'd end the war. So when he got in office, what did he do? Bomb. Bomb, Obama. Yep, that's what he did. He kept the war going and laid lots of bombs down. Okay, Obama. Then we went from Obama to Trump. Well, that could be a musical instrument. It could also be somebody's big boot trumping you down, pressing you down. Okay? And I got thinking about this, and I was thinking, okay, right now, I mean, it's not official because yet to be the reality is for every year that I've been alive so far when the election happened, they gave you the total numbers of the votes and they gave you the total numbers of the college electoral votes. This is the first year I've ever seen them not give you the total numbers of college electoral votes and say they're reading them later. They've never done that before. But conveniently, 2020 has to be different about everything, right? So let's just go with President elect Biden. What would Biden stand for? Biding for time. Like you're waiting on something, biding for time. Okay, his vice president, Kamala, or whatever you call her, Harris, Well, when Harry looked that up, that Harris comes, that's very interesting. Comes back to a good angel, comes back to the angel of death. Yeah, look up that last name Harris. It comes back to all that stuff. We think about Agenda 21 coming in, and if Biden was in office, Biden for time, and he resigned, who would be our president? The angel of death. The good angel to the elite, the angel of death to the people. Perfect timing for Agenda 21. Now you think I'm crazy? Well, here, let me get even a little more crazier for you, okay? Kennedy. Okay, what was going on in society when Kennedy was in office? What became something that was known? The Kennedy Space Center, perhaps. Perhaps. What if John F. Kennedy's name wasn't John F. Kennedy? What if his name is something else? How would you know if that's not a stage name? Could you possibly know that? Could you think about this way? What if your so-called leaders have two identities? A stage name to the public that they've made legal, and then they have a legal birth name that the public's never known about. Well, they could kill the person off, the stage name, and the person would still be quite alive and nobody'd know it was them. Well, you sure look a lot like blah, 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 blah. Yeah, it couldn't be you now. He's dead. Man, you sure look like him. That's exactly what would happen. So, this is just talk, right? I'm not saying this stuff's true. I'm saying there's a lot of things in commonality here line up. Let's look at America. Who was the first president of the United States? Oh, Georgie boy, Mr. Washington. What is the capital of the United States? Washington. Oh, what a quinky dink. Your first president's last name is the name of the capital of this country. Well, what was Mr. Lincoln, Abraham Lincoln? Oh, Link. Lincoln, as in link. We created the United States, connecting all the states. And they seem to go together pretty well, don't they? So when you think about these things, it only makes sense because that would explain why Adolf Hitler was able to disappear amongst the people. Hell, all she had to do is say he was dead. Who's to know the more, man, if you didn't know the real name? I mean, think about it. We assume that we got the real names of our leaders. We don't have any proof that that's their birth given name. Look at Barack Obama. His real name isn't even Barack Obama. So when you think about it, what if it's all been a ruse the entire time? Because remember, with the fourth industrial revolution they're wanting to bring in, they'll literally be changing everything. And I mean everything. Everything anybody grows up with as a child in the fourth industrial revolution, every single belief system will be completely different. Every single one of them. A whole new world. That's right. So when you think about it, what would be the best way to cover up for fucking scumbag presidents and leaders who lead their public, are working with bankers and lead their public into their own demise? Well, if they're using stage names in reality that you all know them by, but in the real world, their real name is something you don't know, hell, we can just blend right in, by golly. Yes, Hitler did disappear for many years. See, now think if his real name wasn't Adolf Hitler. What if his real birth-giving name was something else? He'd disappear right into the crowd, wouldn't he? Yeah, he'd have legal birth certificate and ID showing he's not that person. But meanwhile, in the back door, he has legal ID and identification as Adolf Hitler. Because he has two given identities because of corruption. I mean, who controls the IDs worldwide and the driver's licenses and the passports? The very criminals that you all been counting on. Of course, these criminals would give people two identifications. They do it for actors in Hollywood. So when you think about that, do we really know the real names of our presidents? Can we actually say their names for sure or the names that's been given to the public? And any kind of history you pull up on them, well, how do you know you're reading the real history? How do you know you ain't reading a script that was put out with that name? You don't. You have no way of actually backing that up. But I'm not saying I'm right, but I'm also not saying I'm wrong. Because I have a sneaking suspicion what I'm telling you is probably more likely the truth. I could be wrong, of course, because remember, this is just talk. This is just my thought frame, things I've been thinking about. This conversation I had with Harry yesterday. Okay? And this is just my thought frame, okay? It don't mean I'm correct, but I'll tell you what, I'm a thinker. And I get looking at this, and I don't think it's a quinky dink that your first president of the United States' name was George Washington, and the capital of the United States is Washington. I don't think that's a quinky dink. I don't think that Abraham Lincoln's last name, when what happened during his era and the states became connected, I don't think that was no accident either. Because now they're all linked. Lincoln, linked together, forming what? The United States. See, so there's things that, and I haven't looked at every name in detail, so maybe you'll have to take a different meaning to the name. Maybe the meaning of the name in another country may need something else, and maybe something happened in society during the years they were in that links up to. At least that's the general thought frame. So there's going to be a lot more legwork that's going to have to go into this. But it's a thought frame I have that needs investigated because I wouldn't be surprised a bit to find out that we don't even know who our presidents really are. And their real names most likely not being used. So by the time you first hear about them, whatever name you hear is most likely a stage name. And you go to look up a history on them and you have some pre-written history that was put up before you knew about them, so that if you look, this is what you find. That wouldn't be hard to pull that off. It would be really easy when you're in the position of the people that are behind what's going on. So that would actually be pretty darned easy to pull off. You talk about pulling the wool over people's face, there it is right in your face. But I wanted to throw that out there just because I got thinking about it and too much of it lines up. So then you have to really start to think hard about what happened in the years that this president was in office in this country. And is there anything you can use the last name to link it to something that's happened or something that is? Like with George Washington, the beginning of the United States, the first president, the last name just happens to be the name of where the capital's at. Abraham Lincoln, the United States is formed during this time. The states are all linked, as in the United linked, Lincoln. I mean, it's little things like this. Kennedy, last name Kennedy Space Center. Yeah, I mean, you look at the Bush era, both Bushes were involved in wars. Obama did a lot of bombing during his time, continuing the war that Bush started. Trump, that's a pretty simple one because that could be trumping over the top of people. We have Agenda 21 coming in, and anybody that can't see Agenda 21 coming in by now is definitely sound asleep. I can hear him snoring from here. And everywhere I go, I hear snoring going on. I can't walk into a store without a bunch of snoring going on. And diapers everywhere, man. They're right in my face. I'm looking around and people are wearing diapers over their nose and their mouth. It's pathetic. And then you're becoming allergic to each other. That's right. You're allergic to each other. You better stand 12 foot back. Pretty soon it'll be 16. Oh, you mean it was 6? Well, you'll feel better when it's 12. Because after all, you wouldn't want to get something that don't exist. That'd be awful if you caused something that don't exist. But don't worry, they're making a sticker for you. Yep. Pretty soon they're going to want to stick you with it. It'll help you. We did it without isolating the virus. Oh, but don't worry, we made it impossible for you to sue us or prosecute us if our sticker does you any harm. Yeah. But don't worry, they're working on it at warp speed. They're going to working on it at warp speed to create that sticker. That way you can have your sticker. I think I'll skip out on the sticker. Yeah, I don't like stickers. Now I think you know what I'm talking about when I say that word. Because, I'm not getting a lot for comments here, but I just had to still bring that up because I thought that was interesting. And I wouldn't be a bit surprised to find out that your so-called leaders' real names, you don't even know what they are. I wouldn't be surprised a bit to find out that every one of these people you see on TV are running with stage names. Right down to your news anchors. That they're all running with stage names. They can just disappear into the public and blend in. Unless somebody knows them personally, then that person's going to be having trouble blending in, But then how many people would believe that person anyhow? You really got to think about it. Because everybody lives in a grain of sand. I'm telling you, smaller than a grain of sand. Your spot on this earth, you're just like that microscopic grain of sand you have to use a microscope to look at. That's how much room you use. Oh, well, I agree with you there. Oh my God, yes I do. That they'll trade everything away for security. And those who give up liberty for security deserve neither. There's your answer. And they're going to get just what they traded it for, neither. Their security, but don't worry, they're going to be safe, okay? Don't worry, your government is going to take good care of you. And since you got the competition mentality to compete against each other all the time, and you all want to be above somebody else, well, don't worry. There'll only be a few of you at the bottom of the hole. The majority of you be piled on top of somebody else, your limp dead bodies, that is. But just think, you'll finally get to be above somebody else. But the final thing that'll be above you will be dirt when they fill in the hole with your corpse laying in it. Because there's plenty of room for ignorance. They don't mind that at all. Just like following the day's dating advice. I'm out of touch with reality because I'm from old school, and you couldn't listen to me on any kind of dating advice because I would be telling you old school, and that's not the way it is in today's society, Bill. No, you got to listen to people like Stephen first because they're going to tell you the modern day way to do it. Yep, they're going to tell you the modern day way to stay alone for the rest of your life and destroy anything you ever, any chance you ever had. Because that's what the modern day dating scene is about. It's about a bunch of clowns that don't know what the fuck they're doing, that are following today's propaganda, using the day's propaganda and destroying each other, men and women alike, and whining and bitching and moaning and complaining over their behaviors toward each other. Because they all forgot to grow up. That's really what we got there. Or they couldn't use their brain for any kind of critical thinking skills, and they couldn't get beyond their selfishness. That's what I see when I look at today's dating scene. And I see it loud and clear. I know why you can't get along. I know why the divorce rate's where it's at. I know why so many women have more than one kid by different dads. And you think it's perfectly normal when it's not, okay? It's completely insane because, divide and conquer. Divide and conquer, because that is what it's about. Change your perceptions, make you believe things that ain't true, so that you'll fight for that lie. And you'll keep that lie alive and well. And you'll walk right over the cliff and fall to your own death. That's what you do. And I don't like saying things or being that way about what's going on, but I'm only telling you what I see. What I see going on. I mean, the first part of the show, let's just talk here, okay, what I said today, because I can't back any of that up. I'm just saying I've got a sneaking suspicion what I talked about there is probably true. Most likely is true, but it has to be investigated further. And what does it matter, anyhow, huh? People are living inside a bubble, anyhow. You're living an illusion, a mirage. You ain't living in reality. And you'd rather stay divided than you would to stand together to stop what's going on. So I guess you're wanting to die? Is that what it is? I mean, I guess you would like to be killed by your very own criminal governments? You don't mind dying for the better sake of a few psychopaths who think their name is God and think they need to own everything on the whole planet, including the planet itself, including you? How nobody would ever think that way, Bill. No, nobody would ever think that way. That's why all the shit that's going on right now is happening because nobody would ever do this kind of stuff. We all know nobody would ever be evil. There was no such thing as a conspiracy. You all know there's no such thing as a conspiracy. So you mean more than one person ever planned to do something and carry something out together? Yep, that's what you're telling me when you say there ain't no such thing as a conspiracy. Well, that's just a theory. Yep, yep, the invisible bug's just a theory. The shutting down of the businesses, oh, nobody would ever shut down the world's economy. What are you nuts? Nobody'd ever do something like that. Lockdowns? What's that? Oh, you're nuts again. Nobody would ever do that. That's what this all comes down to. Well, you got the next problem we have, and this is probably one of the biggest problems we have altogether. It is something we all need to live on because the system was built by it. It's something that gives these people the power they have. And it's something you all want every single day, and some of you people, it's the only reason you're online. Money. The tool. The control mechanism, money. That's what I would be talking about there. So many people sold everybody out so they could be above you. They can have a better life. Oh, and that made them more smarter than you and made them more of a man than you. Yeah, a man-made construct that could never buy happiness, no matter how much of it you got. It will never buy your happiness. It might buy you a little artificial happiness. Yeah, it'll buy you plenty of fake happiness that don't last very long and you're miserable again, you're all depressed. So you got to strive to get more so that way you can feel a little bit better, a little bit more above somebody else, a little bit smarter. You could let your ego inflate your head. I don't understand it, like with the so-called mask, the diaper on your face, that they're claiming is protecting you. And so you're standing there and you're not wearing one of these diapers on your face and you're talking to somebody that's working in a store that's got a mask on their face. And they're like, oh, get away from me. I don't want to get it from you. Well, but I thought your diaper was protecting you. How could you get it from me if your diaper on your face is protecting you? But, well, get away from me. You'll give it to me. While they got the diaper on their face. So you're telling me your diaper on your face ain't protecting you? Get away, I don't want to get it. There you go. That's what's going on. And then we have the next detail that's going on. Yep. Well, if you don't get your jab and I get it from you, I'm going to be pissed because I got my jab. You get your jab so you don't give it to me. Oh, really? Well, I thought your jab prevented you from getting it. You were worried about getting it when you had your jab? When you had your sticker? If your sticker was protecting you, why are you worried about getting it? See, this is the kind of insanity that you see going on. Get away from me. I don't want to get it. Well, you got your diaper on your face, so you're protected. Get away. I don't want to get it. There you go. You got it. There you go. That's the kind of insanity we just get the witness going on every day in your face, and you scratch your head and go, what the hell? Are these people that brain dead? Then you go, oh, fuck, never mind. Just answer your own question, damn it. That's the way I look at that. Because the reality is the reality. People are not using their brains. People are not looking into nothing. People are enjoying their divisions so much that they're going to walk over the cliff, fall to their death, and wonder how they got there. When Harry and I was on the other day, we done told you time's running out. And I was dead serious about that crap, and so was Harry. We're not playing around. We're not kidding you. We're not joking. It said there was going to be a second round. Even Harry would have told you the round two's coming. But man, they gave you a little bit of break during the summertime and you all fall back to sleep and think everything's hunky-dory. And now the second round's moving in and a lot of these people who fell back to sleep are going, huh? And it didn't do any good for me to tell them anything. It went in one ear and out the other and down the street and around the corner. It's gone. Blew away in the wind. That's right, divide and conquer. That's the name of the game, and they've done a really good job at it too. Because we, the people of this world, are the ones with the power. Not the handful of 13 family psychopaths that are running us all, that's running the show. They have no power whatsoever. The reason they have power is because you keep giving away yours. You keep giving away all of your power. Because it's more funner staying divided. It's more funner trying to one-up somebody else and playing a game. It feels better turning your back and looking the other way and ignoring what's coming in. Or it's much better to believe your television set would never lie to you and listen to your television set and listen to your money because that's your God's. Your television set will never lie to you, and your money's name is God. You don't have to worry about competing with the Jones, right? You're going to have the better lawn, the better car, the better this. You ain't going to have to worry about freedom because that's going out the door while your back is turned. While you're not looking, they're taking that away from you and me and all of us. Pretty soon you won't be able to hear me anymore. You won't be able to hear anybody no more because we open our mouth to lock us up. Why is that? Well, that's because they're conditioning you to not want to hear anything. You better believe whatever's told you. You don't got to look in. No, don't you look into anything. You don't go look for yourself and use your own brain and do your own critical thinking skills. Nope, you better not possess any of them. That'll be illegal too. To have a critical thinking skill and to have a thought of your own, or to investigate something and know when you smell shit, and you see shit, and it looks like shit, that it is shit. BS, that's being fed to you daily. You look online right now, and it's harder than hell to find real truth anymore. You find it, but you got to dig for it to get a nugget here and a nugget there. Because there's so many lies and psyops and BS floating through the internet right now. The interwebs is just loaded full of crud. There you go. See, there you go. There's the crud right there in your face. Bill is a paid agent. That's the crud for you. See, the crud showed up in here. I mean, that's where that comes from, okay? You don't got to worry about that. I just seen that comment and I had to go up there and say bye and remove them. Okay, because I'm not no paid agent. Anybody that knows me knows that is full of shit right there. That's a troll. That's a bot. That's somebody trying to cause infighting, whatever. Well, they're a little childish game at a time that we need to be standing together. And see what I mean about how stupid people are? Do you understand the ignorance of that? We're at a time when we need to be standing together if we plan on living. If you're planning on going on living, you better be fucking considering standing up. And if you're too cowardly to stand up, or you're just too busy with your own thing, or you don't care, well, then you're complicit with dying. So I don't want to hear any complaints out of you when you find out that you're getting ready to be killed, or you realize the military's coming down your block and they're pulling people out of the homes at gunpoint and they're coming your way. I don't want to hear any complaining about it, okay? If some fucking earthquake or some major shit happens in your city, I don't want to hear any complaining. It's like you're going to have your digital currency soon, probably here in 2021. They'll crash your currency because this has only just begun. And they're going to switch over to digital because they're all ready for it. Then they'll use their weather warfare and they'll wipe out your fucking town or your city and take out your power grid in that area. And you might be 1, 2, 3, 4 months without electricity. Don't worry about it. You won't be able to buy anything neither, even if something's left, because there won't be no electricity. And you got digital currency. Means you got no way to access your money. Means you can't spend it. So don't worry about buying food or water or anything to live on. Yep, it's all digital. It was safer that way. Nobody could rob you. Want to bet? Military industrial complex and weather warfare just robbed you. They put an F5 tornado through your city and wiped you out. Put an earthquake there. They put a hurricane there. Your power's out everywhere. and you can't buy anything because you can't access your digital money because you need electricity. Ha ha! Just break that digital currency right on up. It's the best thing for you. Well, the ha-ha's on you, see? You should never want to be cashless. Because if you're going to have a cashless society, there's one of your side effects of a cashless society. Hell, I only gave you one. I can think of a whole bunch of other stuff that's going to happen once you're cashless, and you won't be able to stop it. Because now the criminals really own you. Want to buy some food? Do as we say. That's right, we just shut off the access to your funds. Because your social credit score is low, son. That's right, you're not thinking with the brain in the jar over there, you keep trying to use your own. So we shut off your currency. Yeah, all because it's digital. It's a good thing, right? Can't get robbed that way. There you go. Yep, that's my CIA handler. Yeah, sure. Sure, and I got some mountain front property right here in Iowa next to the Mississippi. You want to see all the nonsense? The nonsense is coming in now, the Nonsense Club. Yep, there's the Nonsense Club making assumptions. That's normally what happens in a Nonsense Club. You know, you have nonsense that comes in and more nonsense and more nonsense and on and on and on. Yep, see, this is what you call Troll Central. Yep, most likely it's first behind all that crap. Yeah, I do understand that. Most likely is that guy named First and his little posse trolling my channel now. Oh, better troll Bill now. Go ahead, troll me. I don't mind. See, right when we should be coming together, do you see that? I told you people love your division. I told you you just can't wait to walk off the cliff and fall to your death. You're in a hurry to walk off a cliff and fall to your death because that makes you a smarter person. Yep. You're so much smarter when you're walking off a cliff and falling to your death. Yep, and then you remove them and they run to their next troll account that they set up, and then they got removed again and they couldn't figure out why and why they wasted all their time creating these accounts. But if you want to keep creating accounts, I don't mind. Keep creating them. You can create as many as you want. You can keep coming in here as many times I do a live stream, and you could be here, and I can remove you faster than you can create the account, so I don't really mind. And you are showing what I'm talking about, how true it is. You're actually my evidence, so I want to thank you, trolls, for being the evidence. Okay, because you are the evidence about what I'm talking about is true. You have now confirmed it. See, that's the reason we're all going to die. That's the reason so many people are getting fixed to be killed. You're going to be walking off the cliff. Because your power is in the hands of the people, not the hands of the psychopaths. Never has been. We outnumber the people of this world outnumber the psychopaths a million times over. Okay, we are. I mean, our numbers compared to the people pulling the strings are gigantic. They couldn't even stop us or do anything about or even get their plans off the ground if we all stood up and said no. But I know you don't want to do that. I know you're scared. And it's a scary thing having to stand up and say no and not comply. So it would be best if you just stand up and say, okay, I'll do whatever you say. Well, where would you like to place it? Okay, I'll bend over. That's what the majority of you are saying. And when I said that, in the manosphere, the division, why? And then when I say we need to stand together, what happens? Here comes the people proving why you're going to die. Because they're not smart enough to see what's going on. They couldn't see history replaying itself for the life of them, even when it is. And this time on a worldwide scale. That's the only difference. They're replaying history on a worldwide scale. My friend from Germany, his mother don't watch any of this stuff on the Manosphere or anything, right? His mother, his own mother, told him history's replaying itself. Oh my God, this is what already happened when Hitler was in office, blah, blah, blah. And he's over in Germany. And his mother actually sees it. She wasn't awake by no means, but she's actually seeing and recognizing what's going on and knows it's replay of history and freaking out. But she would be correct. It is. It's a replay of history on a worldwide scale. And this time, the war is going to be the technocrats and governments and bankers against the people of this world. Using the people because without the people, we couldn't kill the people. We got to put you in brainwashing camp and call you military, not for a reason, but for the reason for this way you'll turn your guns on your own people. And then we have to set you into civil unrest so you're fighting and killing each other. And then we have to use food as a weapon so that you can't get your hands on that. And then we're going to give you digital currency so we can wipe out your power grid so that you won't be able to buy anything so that you can die from that too. See, we have it all worked out. We got a billion ways we're going to kill you all off in the next 5 years. If you're here in America, in the next 10 years worldwide. Everything in the book they can pull out to take you out, they're going to do. And why are they going to do it? Because they can. And why can they do it? Because you're going to do nothing about it. You're going to continue to fight each other over fluff and stuff. That's right. You're going to continue to troll people. That's right. And try to create as much trouble as you can and keep your back turned to what's going on. And you're going to be responsible for allowing them to do it. And the only people I'm going to feel sorry for are the people who are awake, willing to stand up and speak out, and the children. Nobody else. I have no room to feel sorry for somebody else. Not now. Because if you're too big of a coward to stand up and speak out and try to stand together to stop them, then that means you're complicit. And if you're complicit, I don't have no need for you. I don't have no room for you. That's how I feel about it because we're running out of time and we're running out of time fast. And I don't care what people say. I know what I see. I know what's going on. You have a lot of people out here that actually do see what's going on that are trying to tell you. And you got a lot of people that are just turning their backs and looking the other way. you know. And then you have my evidence that keeps showing up in here, because they like their division. Remember when I told you, I hooked up on your division? See, and I had to go and remove them again. That's why I said bring them on. I don't mind you bringing on your troll accounts. You can do that all you want, okay? And you can open your mouth and shoot it off. And you can go sit in the internet corner and have fun over there. But every single account you open, I can close just as fast as you opened it. At least on my channel, huh? Matter of fact, I do it faster than you opened it because you had to put more effort into making that account than it took me to delete it, to remove you from my channel. I went click and you were gone. You went click, click, type, type, click, click, type, type, click, click, type, type. That's what you did to get your channel. You didn't create your channel just like that. Nope, you sure didn't. So you waste your time coming over here and proving me right because that's all you did. You came in here and showed everybody the evidence for why they're going to be dead. Why Agenda 21 will move forward. And why they will be able to willingly exterminate so many people. The only thing you did was prove me right. If you think it's fun trolling me and you're making me look bad, no, you just proved me right. That's all you did. You was my evidence that I'm telling the truth. So I'll tell you thank you for helping out. Because that's all you done. You helped out. See, there you go. Here we go. You can just keep it up, so can I. That's most likely First, since First is working for the establishment and has the back door to YouTube. He can probably just go bam, bam, and have an account immediately. Bam, bam, and have another account immediately. Bam, bam, have another account immediately. Ain't that right, First? See, that's most likely who that is that keeps coming in here with the same kind of messages. That's most likely First. And he can make the accounts just as quick as he wants because he has the back door. Because he does work for the establishment. He knows he does. I know he does too. See, he thinks that money he was promised is going to be a good thing for him. He's not smart enough to figure out when they're through using their pasties, they'll take them out. When they ain't got no more use for that pasty called First, he'll be taken out. He'll be put in the same boat as everybody else. And he'll be, what, huh? And I won't be what, huh? I'll be, uh-huh. I got a feeling it's First because the account's too many too fast. Keep coming back with the same messages. So I got a feeling it's First. I mean, it could be autotestosterone, but I don't think it is. I think it's First. He made sure to come into my live stream in the chat room with Harry, too. I left him alone. See how fast our new account showed up? People can't create that many accounts that fast anymore, no. But if you got the back door to YouTube, you can. Isn't that right, First? See, so I just have to keep taking them out. He just keeps coming back with a new name and a new message over and over and over again. And even most trolls can't do it over and over again because they run out of stock accounts. Then they have to go create a new one. And that takes a little while. But I suppose if you're First and you got the back door to YouTube, which First does, he proved that already, then he probably ain't got to go through creating an email or anything. He just types a few keys, has a new account, comes back again. Types a few keys, and comes back again. See, there you go. See, First is back already. See that? It's quick, isn't he? He wasted no time. He come right back again. See that crap? That's why I said it's first, because they're too fast. Them new accounts are coming up too quick, which is a dead giveaway. The same message over and over at a new account over and over and over. No, nah, that would be Mr. Employee of the Establishment, VIA, that has the back door to YouTube doing that. He don't have to go through all the rigmarole you do to create an account. He can just go bam, bam, have the account and come right up. Bam, bam, have an account and come right up. He's having a field day because he ain't got nothing better to do because they're paying him to do this, right? There he is again. See, what did I tell you? Now he's using a symbol without a picture. But now he's gone again. See how that works? Yep. See how fast he was back? Now you know it's first. Anybody with a quarter of a brain or an eighth of a brain should be able to see that. Now, don't you go ahead and go create yourself a YouTube account, a sock channel, and see how long it takes you. Go ahead and set your clock and time yourself from beginning to end. Then you do that, and then you come back here and you look at how fast, you think about how fast these comments are coming up, the same ones over and over. On different accounts, the same comment over and over and over. I mean, unless you sat there with 20 or 30 sock accounts, you're not going to be doing that crap. Most people who are troll have 4, 5, sometimes 6, 7 accounts at the most. And they don't come back that fast. Because they have to freaking now, I might be logged into 3 of them, use 3 browsers, 4 browsers, run through them, and then bam, they have to freaking do it all over again. See, there you go, they're back already. With a new little logo with a picture of a cat, doing it again. That's because it's first. At first knows it's first, right now he's smiling and laughing. Because he's still got a 5-year-old brain. That's the difference. See, you and most of the people in here are adults, except for first. He's 5 or 6 years old inside his brain. No older than that. He's only 5 or 6 inside his brain. But anyhow, I guess I've said what I had to say anyhow. And now that First wants to continue to troll the show, at least he came in and proved what I was saying. Okay? And I appreciate him being my evidence to prove that. And hopefully everybody else can get something out of this. That if we can't stop fighting one another and we don't start standing together, you can kiss your ass goodbye. Because that's where you're going. Because time is running out. And the power is in the people's hands. Okay? And the people only standing together can take the power back. Because we are the ones that have the power. Stop giving it away. But if you want to keep giving it away, then you have no room to complain when you fall into your death. And with that, I'm out of here.